Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation, we're going to see how we go about doing a digital forensics analysis of a suspect's hard drive using Autopsy. The lab requirements for this presentation are one Windows 10 Pro machine, virtual or otherwise, one install of Autopsy, one copy of the forensic image file for Dell Latitude CPI.E01. This forensic image can be downloaded from the Computer Forensics Reference Dataset portal. Once you're on the portal, just scroll on down until you come to Popular Datasets. You're going to click on Hacking Case. On this next page, you're going to scroll down to the bottom. Now you're going to go to the next page of Results. And down here at the bottom, you have the two images that you can download. They are the Dell Latitude CPI.E01 and the Dell Latitude CPI.E02. To download each of these images, you have to right-click on the image you want to download. From the context menu, you're going to do a Save Link As, and when you get to the download location, you're going to accept the default name that has been given, which is for Dell_Latitude CPI.E01. This forensic image was created using another forensics tool called Encase. That is why it has the file extension of E01. Due to the size of the file, it was broken into two parts, E01 and E02. E01 is the leading forensic image file, and the E02, that contains the other remaining data that has been accounted for and verified. And that's why you will need both of these files for this particular lab. Now you can just do a save, and you'll have that image ready to import into Autopsy. In this lab scenario, you have been given an image that was taken from a suspect's computer who was suspected of being a hacker. It is suspected that this computer was used for hacking purposes, although it cannot be tied to the hacking suspect, Greg Schwartz. Schwartz does also go by the online nickname of Mr. Evil, and some of his associates have said that he would park his vehicle within range of a wireless access point where he would then intercept internet traffic, attempting to get credit card numbers, usernames, and passwords. You are charged with finding any hacking software, evidence of their use, and any data that might have been generated, and you are to attempt to tie the computer to the suspect, Greg Schwartz. Let's go ahead and get started. We have downloaded our forensic images. Autopsy is up and running, and we're now ready to create a new case. I'm going to click on the New Case option, and on this first window that pops up, we're going to give our case a user-friendly name. On this next window that pops up, give yourself a case number. I'm going to use 0001. I'm now going to fill in the information for the examiner, name, phone number, email address, and any notes that I feel that are prevalent to this case, if any. I'm now going to click Finish. It's now creating the case. Now once your case file has been created, you're next going to pull in the data source. On this next window, we can generate a new host name based on the data source name. That's the default, and that's what I'm going to accept. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Now we're going to select the type of image we have. I'm going to go ahead and accept the default disk image or VM file. I'll go ahead and click Next. And here we're going to browse on over, and we're going to find that image. So just click on the Browse button, and you're now going to browse on over to where you saved that downloaded image. I have my image. I'm going to go ahead and just double click it. It's now loaded. I can accept the default for the time zone, and for the sector size, I can do an auto detect. I'm going to accept these defaults, and I'm going to click Next. Here we're going to load up the modules that we're going to use to locate and analyze this disk. Go ahead and accept all the defaults as they are. Go ahead and click Next. and now the image source is being analyzed. This is going to take some time, so do be patient. And though you can start to browse and start to look around inside of the image, it is recommended that you allow the image to complete the loading process. And once your image has been analyzed, you can go ahead and click Finish. The steps that I'm about to perform on the analysis of this particular image, I have pulled from a number of different blogs and websites. Individuals have found different locations for the same information that I'm about to show you. So if you can't find the information in one location, you can always search or find the information that you seek in a different location. The lab walkthrough I have chosen to use for this particular demonstration was posted by Lucidius Securing Digital. Excellent work on this particular lab walkthrough, and we're now going to get started. The first thing we want to do is verify the hash. Now to do this, we're going to go up here where it says data sources. We're going to expand that. We're next going to click on the image that is just beneath that. And over here in the right window pane, you're going to click on where it says the 4del latitude CPI E01. Down here at the bottom window pane, click on where it says File Metadata. And this is where you're going to find the hash. And we can see that the hash is MD5, and it's listed right here. We do this to ensure that the image we have been given has not been altered or tampered with in any way. This is for legal proceedings. It is very important because a single tamper of the data would make an accused guilty or innocent. And of course, this would all be part of the chain of custody. The next question we have to answer is, what is the operating system of the computer? To do this, we're going to go over to the left window pane and we're going to click on where it says Operating System Information. Over in the top right window pane, we're going to click on where it says 4del latitude CPI E01. Down here at the bottom window, we're going to get that information. And we see that the current operating system is Microsoft Windows XP. The next question we need to answer is, when was the install date of the operating system? Now normally that would be right here underneath the operating system information, but we don't have that information. But as I previously stated, you can get any information in a number of ways just by looking around inside of the image itself. So if I go and I expand this data source right here, and I go down to where I see the volume 2, and I click on that, and I scroll down a little bit, you're going to see that we have a Windows 98 folder and we have a Windows folder. If I click on the Windows folder and I go to File Metadata, you'll see that we have the dates that we're looking for. So the creation date was 2004-08-20. That is the install date. The next question we need to answer is, who is registered for this machine? Or who is the registered owner? Again, we can click on where it says Operating System Information. We can go over to the right window pane, click on where it says 4del latitude. And down here at the bottom, we can see that if we look at data artifacts, that the owner is, I know I'm not saying this name right, it's Greg Schwartz. I'm going to go with that. All right, so that is the registered owner. The next question we need to answer is, what is the computer's account name? And again, if we look underneath operating system information, we see that we are given the computer account name for this image. The next question we need to answer is, when was the last recorded computer shutdown? That is the date and the time. Now to do this, we're going to have to go up here to where we have our image, our data source. And we're going to click on volume 2. Underneath here, we're going to scroll on down over in the left window pane. We're going to scroll on down until we get to the Windows folder. We're going to scroll on down until we get to System 32. From here, we're going to scroll on down until we get to the Config folder. Once we're inside the config folder, we're going to go down to where it says software. Down in the bottom window pane, we're now going to scroll on down to where it says Microsoft. From here, we're going to scroll on down till we come to Windows NT. We're going to click on current version. We're next going to scroll on down till we come to the prefetcher folder. And now we're going to click on where it says exit time. And there is the time, or the last time the computer was shut down. We're going to take a moment to get back to our default screen. To do this, I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to click on volume 2. I'll click on the Dell Latitude CPI E01. The next question we need to answer is how many accounts are recorded on this computer. So let's go ahead and scroll on down to where we come to OS accounts. Let's go ahead and click on that. And you're going to find that we have 5 accounts. We have the support, we have Mr. Evil, help assistant, guest, and one more, the administrator. Our next question to answer is, who was the last user to log on to the computer? Now to get this information, again, we're going to go up here to our data source. We're going to click on where it says for Dell Latitude CPI E01. And again, let's click on volume 2. And again, we're going to go on down to where it says Windows. In the left window pane, we can now scroll on down until we come to System 32. And again, we're going to find the config folder. Go ahead and expand that. Underneath there, you're going to scroll on down until you come to software. Scroll on down until you come to Microsoft. Go ahead and scroll on down until you come to Windows NT. Let's go ahead and click on current version. And underneath here, we're going to click on the WinLogon folder. Scroll on down. Expand that. Now we're going to look for the default username. And you'll see that it is Mr. Evil. And that would be the last person to log on to this computer. Again, let's get back to a default view. We next need to list the network cards used by this computer. To do this, again, we're going to expand the Dell Latitude CPI E01 image, and we're going to click on volume 2. Let's scroll on down till we get to the Windows folder. Again, we're going to click on System 32. We're going to scroll on down until we come to the config folder. Over in the right window pane, let's click on software. Let's scroll on down until we come to Microsoft. Scroll on down until we come to Windows NT. Let's do current version. Let's go on down to where we find the network cards. And here you see that we have a number of different network cards listed. If we click on the subfolders that are marked 11 or 2, we can go to the description and we can get the name of that particular network card. So underneath the folder labeled 11, we see that we have a compact wireless LAN PC card, and underneath the folder that is labeled number 2, if we go to description, we have a Xercom card bus Ethernet 100 modem. Whew, that's old school. Again, let's clear our view. We next need to find the IP address and the MAC address of this computer. Now to do this, we're going to again expand the 4 Dell Latitude, and again we're going to go into volume 2. Inside of volume 2, we're going to click on the program files folder, double click it. Inside of the program files, we're going to click on the subfolder that is labeled look at LAN, double click that. We're next going to scroll on down, or scroll up I should say, until we come to the irunin.ini file. Go ahead and double click that. Scroll on down until you come to the LAN username, the LAN IP, and the LAN NIC information. You'll see that you have an IP address, and the following entry just after the IP address is going to be your MAC address. We next need to identify any hacking tools that could have been used to perform wireless hacking. To do this, we're going to go back up to our volume 2, and we're just going to click on it. Then over here in the left window pane, we click on Program Files. Just go ahead and double click it. Then over here in the left window pane, you're going to see a long list of applications. And we can start off with Look at LAN. That's the first one. The Look at LAN is an advanced network monitor that allows you to monitor your net in just a few clicks. And then we have Cane, which is right here. Cane Enable is a password recovery tool for Microsoft Windows. It can recover many kinds of passwords using methods such as network packet sniffing, cracking various password hashes, by using methods such as dictionary attacks, brute force, and cryptanalysis attacks. Next we have the Network Stumbler. Network Stumbler is a tool for Windows that facilitates detection of wireless LANs. We next have Merc. Merc is an internet relay chat client for Windows that was created in 1995. That's going to be right here. We have Wireshark, or Ethereal as it was called many years ago. We have that right here. We have 123 WASP. That's going to be the top of the list up here. WASP will display all passwords of the currently logged on user that are stored in a Microsoft PWL file. Go ahead and get back to our default view one more time. We next need to identify the email client that was used by Mr. Evil. To do this, we're going to click on the Dell source one more time. We're going to go to volume 2. Over here in the right window pane, we're going to expand Windows. Again, we're going to go to System 32. Expand that. Over here in the right window pane, we're going to scroll on down until we come to the config folder. Then we're going to click on Software. And under here, we're going to click on Clients. And from here, we can just click on Mail. And you'll see that we have a number of email clients that are in here. Let's get back to our default view. The next question we need to answer is, what is the SMTP email address for Mr. Evil? To do this, we're going to expand one more time the 4 Dell latitude, and we're going to click on where it says Volume 2. Over here, we're going to click on Program Files. We're next going to click on the Agent folder. Double click that. We're going to click on Data. We're going to scroll on down until we come to the agent.ini file. Double click that. And down at the bottom window pane, you can get the information on the SMTP address for Mr. Evil, which is whoknowsme@sbcglobal.net. Let's get back to our default view. The next question we have to answer is, how many executable files are in the recycle bin? Again, we're going to expand our data source. Let's go into volume 2, and we're going to click on Recycler. Double click it. Over here in the left window pane, underneath the Recycler, you're going to click on that subfolder, and you're going to see that you have 4 executable files in the recycle bin: DC1, DC2, DC3, and DC4. Again, let's get back to our default view. The next question we have to answer is there any malware on the computer? Now to do this, we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to click on where it says Interesting Items. Go ahead and open that up, and you're going to see that you have a possible zip bomb, and you can look at the results over in the right window pane. The next question we have to answer is, what is the user ID for the Merc program that we found earlier? Now to do this, we're going to go back into our volume 2, and we're going to go to Program Files. We're going to find that Merc program. We're going to open that up. And then over here in the right window pane, we're going to find the merc.ini file. Here it is. Just go ahead and open that up. And here you can find that information about the user ID. And if we scroll down in the file where we're if we scroll down through the file where we come to the subsection labeled merc, which is right here, you're going to see that we have the user name, the email, his nickname, Mr. Evil Rules, and that's how we find that information for the merc account. Again, let's get back to our default view. We know that the suspect intercepted wired and wireless internet packets using a sniffing program called Ethereal, which we now call Wireshark. We can look at that intercepted data by going into volume 2. So let's go ahead and expand that one more time. And we're going to go into document and settings, and we're going to open up this folder here called Mr. Evil. And in here we have the intercepted data. And in here we find there is a file called interception. We can go ahead and double click that. And that is the information that he captured using Ethereal. Inside this same file we can answer the question on what internet browser Mr. Evil used. And if we scroll down, we're going to come to a variable that is labeled user-agent. And here we see he was using Mozilla Firefox 4.0. And so that's going to conclude this short video presentation on how we go about conducting an analysis of a forensics image using Autopsy. And again, a lot of the information that we found inside this image can be found in multiple places throughout the operating system. Got any questions? You got any concerns? Go ahead and contact your instructor, and I'll see you in my next video.